About an hour, maybe a little bit more ago, I put up a video where I break down this guy, Angry Cops. That's his channel on YouTube. He's a recruiter. He has been, at some point in the past, apparently, a drill sergeant, but he's also been a member of Psychological Operations Command. He has appeared in some videos wearing uniforms with those patches. In this video where he talks about the failed Venezuelan breakdown, he accidentally reveals that this was a U.S. government, U.S. military coordinated operation, and he doesn't even realize he did it. He did this before in another video talking about a guy who saluted improperly, where he goes off on his rants and he starts talking without thinking. And he doesn't maintain cognizance of what's coming out of his mouth. Now, I want to share this part of the video with you, and I want you to listen to what he says closely here, because it reveals that what Justin Goudreau did was not Justin Goudreau's idea. Listen to his words.
We're going to talk about how it actually went down. Jordan Goudreau, originally a Canadian citizen, not holding anything against you there, bub. The owner of Silvercorp and the brainchild of this horrible, debauched coup was an East.
Okay, now there he says, Jordan Goudreau is the brainchild of the coup. Now listen to what he says next.
Six in the United States Army Green Beret. Now, he had multiple tours overseas, but why would you pick an E6 to run a 300-man detachment to overthrow a sitting dictator or political leader?
Why would who pick? He just said that this was the brainchild of Justin Goudreau, that this entire idea was out of his own desire to get the $15 million bounty, apparently. But then just those few words. Why would you pick, meaning figurative you, why would one pick an E6? Who is he talking about picking, doing the choosing? Oops. Yep, that's right. He's calling into question a decision made above the head of Justin Goudreau. Now, who would that be? Who would that be? Now, given we know that this guy has training in psychological operations, we've seen it on his uniforms, I'll give you the link down in the description, or actually, first pinned comment, pardon me, and you can look at that video for yourself. Why would, figurative, you pick? Why would you pick? Oops. Let's continue. He does it again.
Whatever you want to call. Don't you think you want somebody with field grade experience, like a sergeant major?
Why would you want? Why would who want? Why would who want?
At least, if you're going to go enlisted man or a first sergeant, somebody that's done some coordinating with larger groups and elements before, or at least a fucking major or lieutenant colonel, field grade officers, guys that know how to take the big map and look it around and put dots and things and tell guys to move places. No, an E6 with team level experience. Red flag popping up. Red flag. Organizing a military coup is a little different than running a security detail for Taylor Swift as she...
Okay. So he goes through this, and he talks about how being an E6 doesn't give you the qualifications to run this type of a coup, to run this level of an operation. He's upset because he thinks a poor choice was made. Quote, why would you choose? Why would who choose? Sergeant. Why would who choose? Who are you referencing? Who made the choice? If the U.S. government came to, and that's the allegation right now that Nicolas Maduro is making, make no mistake. He says, I have documentation that ties this all the way back up to the Trump administration. And we have shown pictures. We know for a fact that Donald Trump is tied to random guy named Juan, the so-called recognized super brave president, quote unquote, of Venezuela. He was an honored guest at his State of the Union speech. Everybody stood up and applauded. And the thing about this guy and his channel, no, I'm not taking away that he's a little bit funny to watch sometimes, but last year he had access to some very specific information about that video with the Venezuelans, and it's still the one he leads with on his channel. And that video that you couldn't find anywhere. I was doing non-stop videos about Venezuela at that time and was researching everything and picking up every little crumb and detail I could to maintain a daily or sometimes twice daily video about Venezuela. If there had been a video available to the public like what he showed, I would have found it. It was all I was doing at that time. We're actually going to go back a little farther because there's something here else he says that makes me think he or some unit he is attached to or assigned to is involved in this.
A couple dudes with some Green Berets decided that the kill course and a couple deployments overseas was the right amount of expertise to fly into Venezuela, abduct Maduro, and fly him back to the United States or a $15 million finder's fee. And it did not work out as well as they had hoped.
You see, now wait a minute. When you go and you look at the bounty isn't for bringing Maduro back to the United States. The bounty was for information that would lead to the overthrow of the Maduro regime, not his capture, not retrieving him back here to the United States. You didn't have to go anywhere near that far. But somehow, listen to the detail this guy has about this operation.
And we're going to break that down today. Silvercorp, a privately owned security company ran by Justin Goudreau, I think that's how you say his name, was supposed to link up with 300 Venezuelan military defectors who left the military once Maduro retained his power in a questionable election and were hiding out in Colombia. Once joining the previous Venezuelan military forces in Colombia, they would then train for 45 days, and after receiving military weapons and training from ex-Special Forces and Navy SEALs members, they would then infiltrate Venezuela by means of fast boats, overtake the airport, Simon Bolivar Airport, and then continue on to Maduro, where they would extract him, removing him from his security detachment, bring him back to Simon Bolivar International Airport, requesting air assistance, and then being lifted off back into Colombia or the United States. That's how it was supposed to go.
That is awful specific, detailed information planning that's not widely available, at least at the time he made this video. You see, this video, to me, if there was a court case going on, I would bring it up, and I would put this guy on the stand, and I would say, when you said, quote unquote, why would figurative you pick an E6 like Justin Goudreau to run this kind of operation? Who was figurative you that you were speaking of? And let's see him weasel out of that one. See, people love to laugh at Army intelligence. They love to laugh at OPSEC and our part of our little corner of the world. But I don't think he would have a good answer for that. Because he literally says that Justin Goudreau himself had the brainchild of everything he just said. That this was all the brainchild of Justin Goudreau. Is he talking about Justin Goudreau picking himself? Is he talking about Justin Goudreau picking himself? How in the hell can he... A year ago, he believed the Venezuelan military wasn't even as good as hillbillies, as rednecks on YouTube. that they were starving and that the vast majority of the population was ready to overthrow Maduro. So you would think an E6 and 60 guys should have been plenty. But he knew about the 300 supposed Venezuelan defectors. How? You see, that's way too much information, and when you look at it critically, this is smoking gun. This is smoking gun. And I know you're like, oh, come on, the guy's just a comedian on YouTube. No, he's not. He's a member of the military. He's a member of the U.S. military. He's put up lots of videos. I believe he's a reservist or National Guard or something. I don't believe he's active duty. But that would still mean he has access. And if he has access, then perhaps he just gave up the game and didn't know it. Like, share, subscribe.